Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another learning from live experiences on a Saturday afternoon. And I'm sure you must be having a great weekend, which is just the beginning. And welcome. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, if you can see me, and uh, then we'll start in a second. Uh, okay, here we go. So, another Saturday, another week, another new episode. Hi, Neeta, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Colonel Aditya. How are you? I can't see you.
I am doing great. I can see you,
Okay.
but can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, but as long as you can hear me, this is good enough because I can see you and I'm sure. Can our audience see us? Can Jyoti, if you can just tell us if you can see both of us just for a second because Rehana, welcome, Rehana, welcome, Jyoti, welcome to this Saturday live. And so let's start the show. Neeta, welcome back after a break. Good to be there here in conversation with you because every time you're here, we can bring out some amazing new insights. So tell me,
Right.
how's life? How's everything with you?
Everything is going good, Colonel. Very well.
That's great. And anything new? I know that you are doing a lot of things since the last time when you came on my Insta Live. And as you had suggested, I just wanted to ask this question to you as well as to all the women who are there on the show right now. So, how many of you feel that you are really a superwoman? Just type yes if you feel that yes, you are a superwoman. You feel from inside that yes, I am a superwoman right now. Yeah.
I don't know about the others, Colonel, but I
Yes.
definitely am very happy and content feeling just a woman. A
Okay.
woman.
Wow. Okay, a woman. Yeah.
Yes.
And if I ask you, Neeta, okay, you feel content being a woman. So what do you mean by contentment? What does contentment mean to you as a woman?
You know, Colonel, for a very long time, I was very carried away with this word of superwoman
Mm-hmm.
or a super mom. And I used to take pride in getting that feeling, the woman wearing a cape and having these
Mm-hmm.
multiple hands, one is taking care of the child, one is taking care of the house, the other hand is taking care of the office, another hand behind you is taking care of your parents,
Yeah.
one is paying the bills. So I used to, it was a very glamorized thing for me, and I used to feel very top of the world doing these kind of things like wow, one person is capable of doing so many things. But over a period of time, I realized it's just a facade that's being taught to us as women. We have just
Mm.
been used as tools because women have a tendency of being very soft and tender. So that's why we kind of, take a lot of things into our stride by the
Yeah.
God given nature that we have. But over a period of time, I realized that as a woman, it's extremely essential to understand what are our boundaries and
Mm-hmm.
what all are our capabilities, and the fact that we go out of our way to keep everyone happy and keep everyone together and neat and tidy, it is draining you as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not what I want as a superwoman. And that's why I'm
Mhm.
content being a woman, doing one to two, max three tasks at
Yeah.
the most. That's it.
Neeta, at times, did you feel when you mentioned that at times initially you felt that you want to be a superwoman, doing everything possible in my, capability and do become the best at everything for everyone around you. How did it affect you? In terms of, was it like creating a pressure on yourself unnecessarily?
I think the roots go deep back down, Colonel. When you
Mhm.
think of it, why I used to do this or why a lot of women tend to do this, I think the go back down in your childhood, growing up, and the kind of environment that you are living in,
Mhm.
and how you
Yeah.
are raised in that kind of an environment. So I remember I have grown up trying to prove myself worthy to everyone, be it my parents, be it my
Mhm.
family, be it my friends. So I felt I was constantly challenging that, that, oh no, I can do this. I'm a nice girl. I'm a nice person. I have these capabilities. These are my strengths. Wanted acceptance. I wanted some sort of, love from somebody else. And over a period of time,
Mhm.
I realized that this behavior of mine is causing others to walk all over me. And when
Yeah.
that started happening, then that thing turned into hurt. It started becoming, getting into the mode of victim, like, I am doing so much and people don't care. I am
Yeah.
doing so many things and I'm not being respected. So I went into that phase, and that's when I started thinking that there is something that I'm not doing right. I need to set things right.
Mhm. And so while you were trying to do that, and so did it also at times started creating a kind of a self-doubt in your own capability, as if like, where we have heard people saying that I am not good enough, or I am not good at a particular thing, or these are certain things which I cannot do. So did it also unknowingly made you start doubting yourself also?
Absolutely, it did, because even though I was capable, there was
Yeah.
no one to tell me or guide me or support me that, okay, Neeta, these are the things that you have, if you work on these two, three things, you will be at upscaling yourself to the next level. So I think in our times, in the 80s and the 90s,
Yeah.
nobody was there to tell us or show us the path.
Mhm.
When I went through the grind, when I went through the lows of my life, that's when I realized that as a woman, it's not just about knowing the household work, it's understanding deep down inside where it is coming from. So it's coming
Mhm.
from having a low self worth, having low
Yeah.
confidence, having low self esteem, having low respect for your own self. And that's
Mm.
why you're looking on the outside. That's why you're looking for validation on the outside. That, okay, I'm dressing well, my hair
Yeah.
is good, my kids are going to good school. They are going to the same classes as the other kids are going for these particular moms. So always trying somewhere to fit into that, okay, please accept me,
Yeah.
please accept me.
Mhm.
So from that
Mm.
mindset, I realized that it still wasn't giving me any happiness, even though I was trying to do
Mhm.
everything. And that's when I realized that I have to stop working on the outside, and I have to go deep down inside in my subconscious and acknowledge and face those little things that me as little Neeta didn't accept, didn't acknowledge.
Mhm.
I have to go and tell her and embrace her that, okay, I learned my lesson very late. It's been so many years,
Yeah.
but I still love you. I'm still there for you. I still care for you. And I know you are capable, you're strong. So let's do one thing. We will take one step at a time. And that's what I started doing. I started doing one thing at a time.
Mhm. So, Nita, tell me what was the trigger, and what firstly made you come to that realization that, see, I don't have to look for validation from outside. I am what I am, and I'm good at what I am doing, and that, as you mentioned, acceptance of yourself from you, and also what did you do differently to overcome the challenges that you were facing at that moment where you mentioned that you went to that low grind, and then you did something where, because of which now you do not have to look for validation. You're not striving to be that superwoman. You're content and happy with what you're doing. So what was that trigger that created the realization, and then how did you go about transforming that mindset, as you said?
So, okay, this journey hasn't been really very rosy. It's been
Mm-hmm.
full of ups and downs, I would say. Uh,
Yeah.
Downs to the extent that I almost felt like giving up on my life on almost 2 to 3 occasions. It was down to that extent, to be very honest with you, where I felt that I am really not needed by anyone and I'm not loved by anyone. And basically, nobody needs me. So, tomorrow, if I am not
Mm.
there, my absence is not going to have a lot of effect on anyone's life. That's what I thought. And then when COVID happened, I a lot of people lost their loved ones, and I lost my elder brother. And
Oh.
that kind of first hit me very hard because losing someone so close can be very impactful, and I didn't know how to deal with that grief because we were very, very close. And the thing that I was thinking that my absence is not going to make difference in anyone else's life, that sentence came back to me. It came back to my mind. And I said to myself, he's not there today. He's absent in my life. And what am I feeling today? And I don't think so I can express it in words. What is it that I felt? But it was primarily due to this that I started taking things more with a lot more awareness, with
Mm-hmm.
a lot more gratitude, with a lot more gratefulness in my heart with what I have in my life. And uh, besides that, I also got into my coaching journey. And
Mm-hmm.
while I was writing down my book, Colonel, that was when actually the entire reflection of my life happened. And I realized that even in my book, it's a true story of me and my son.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was
Yeah.
sharing my story in the form of a book, that's when you know my entire life replayed in front of my eyes, and I asked a question to myself that on every occasion, in every situation, I have given myself 100%, for my son, for my family. But who was there for me when I was hitting my lowest?
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that, okay, I have been, allowing people to walk all over me by not setting boundaries, by not, telling people what is it that I can do, what is it that I am not interested in doing. So
Yeah.
finding it challenging to say no. And I think a lot of
Mm.
people face this challenge also because family member
Absolutely.
hai, hum isko mana kaise kare. So they find
Mm.
it very difficult to say no. But I realize you have to put your foot down on certain occasions because if you want to have peaceful life, you need to be happy, you need to stay calm because when you are happy and calm, Colonel, it's everyone around you in your close network can feel that vibes, can feel that
Mm.
energy.
Absolutely.
So when
Yeah.
you are operating from a good happy state, everyone around you is good and happy. But when you are in that irritated or a victimized state, everyone around you feels like it's the end of the world kind of a phase.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nita, you mentioned a couple of things which I would repeat for our audiences. Firstly,
Sure.
one was that your journey was full of ups and downs, and once you had the realization, you also decided in your own mind that enough is enough. Now I have to do a certain thing, like learning to say no to people, not allowing people to walk over you, and taking a
Absolutely.
stand for yourself.
Yes.
And also, you mentioned about your book that you wrote your book, which was your own true
Mhm.
story. And while you were writing that book, that was another trigger which made that realization come to you.
Yes.
And yeah, that was one of the reasons why you said, "Ki, now I do not want to be a superwoman. I want to be me," and that is how uh, uh, you created that change in yourself and in your life and in your mind.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when you were going through this process, and when we were doing that, when you were taking ownership of yourself and your decision,
Mhm.
so you must have
Mhm.
faced a lot of opposition or challenges from people around you within your family, they would be finding it quite difficult for you to be what you were trying to do, and even that. How did you overcome that challenge? Because like I remember once somebody told me. When I decided to start saying no, and when I decided to take a stand for myself, so first thing was told to me was that this was not expected from you. We never expected to do you to do that. So how did you the what were the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome these kind of challenges from within the inner circle, not from the outsiders, but from the people who are very close to you?
Okay, so like I said, by default, the nature of women is very giving, very tender, very nursing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I feel the male in the society kind of think that it's okay to take us for granted. I mean, at least there is a
yeah,
certain percentage of men that think that is okay because that's how her nature is and she's not going to mind it. And because we don't mind it or we don't voice our opinion, that is the reason why people walk over us. So
yeah.
for me to put a stop to that was learning to say no. So once I started saying no to some get-togethers, to some parties, and if that's when people started saying that, oh, what does she think of herself? She's this, she's that. She needs to be there. She's a part of the family. She needs to show up for the family. But I wasn't ready because those were not the things that I really enjoyed being
Yeah,
a part of. Not that I don't like going to parties, but there are sometimes days and times when you just don't want to be with anybody. You just want to be with yourself. And I think one needs to respect those moments because
yes,
if you are going to go with a long face to the party, everyone else around you, like I said, is going to be telling you, like, nudging you, like, at least give a smile, at least put up a fake smile. And I was
yeah,
not ready to do that. So that was one thing that I started with. And of course, it did affect people. But at the same time, Colonel, when we as women, if we don't stand up for our own self, nobody else is going to. I think it is time to change
absolutely.
the story of, being a damsel in distress and waiting for a prince in shining armor to come.
Uh,
I think today, as a woman, you have to wear your own crown. You have to carry the shining armor with yourself. And you have to present that strength because as a woman, you're not just representing yourself, you're also representing a woman of strength to your children because the way you allow yourself to be treated, Colonel, is the way you are showing your children that this is how you should also allow yourself to be treated. And that
yes.
was something I was not ready to compromise on.
Mm.
So there were challenges that I have faced. I wouldn't say that I haven't, but I'm very happy because I feel as a woman, and as especially as Indian women, we need to set standards of how we should treat the women and how we should tell the men in our society to treat the women with a lot of respect and care and with gentleness that they should be doing. So yeah, I guess
And you
I
also
spoke
mentioned
too much.
when we were there talking about this before we came on the live that yeah, there are certain dilemmas which a woman faces. One is, as you mentioned, whether they should uh, go by the way they are being perceived by the society, by the family, by the thing, and let things be the way they are, and in the process suffering themselves and creating pressure on themselves and going into that down in the dumps, and which doesn't help you. And other
Right.
thing is that yeah, okay, it is fine. I am what I am. If you accept, you have to accept me as I am, and you have to accept me with my qualities as well as my shortcomings. And even though from my side I am doing the best that I can do. However, this is where I need to draw a line, and you have to respect that. So you
Right.
must have observed, and we also have observed in our close family circle, friend circle, society. Also, there are many women like that who are uh, facing the same kind of challenges. And as you
Hmm.
mentioned, in 80s and 90s, there was no support. Now we have the support available to us in the form of our community of coaches and people who are sharing their experiences, like you are sharing your experiences and showing a way to people. So,
Hmm.
what would be your one? I would say, not advice, but one sharing of experiences as to how one can do all this without having that guilt feeling in their mind. At times, what happens is, even though we decide, we take a stand for ourselves, and later on we start feeling guilty about it. Did I do right or not? You start again go into that same zone of self doubt.
Hmm.
What can these women do who are facing similar kind of challenges? That guilt feeling does not come in their mind, and they feel that it is okay to do what they are doing, and you don't have to prove to anybody or yourself or anybody else around you that yes, I am the woman and I'm doing everything on my own. I don't need anybody's help. I'm capable of doing all those things. So, what would be your few tips for these people?
No, no, I think you should change the last part of the statement. I think it's perfectly okay to ask for help and support,
Yeah.
because that's where the superwoman badge doesn't come. That's where you come as a
Mhm.
woman. That's where you come across as a human being. That you're saying that, okay, I don't have multiple hands. I have just two hands,
Yeah.
and I can only do this much, and I need your support in doing these things for me. So yes, I think we should project ourselves as human beings rather
Yeah.
than projecting ourselves as super beings. Let's leave that to the computers and the AIs. uh, Another thing, I would say it would sound funny, but I think choosing the right husband and
Uh-huh.
not getting in a hurry to get married, because
Mm.
you see, for the next 17 or 18 years, the girl is still studying whatever she's studying in a school and college.
Absolutely.
Okay, and after that, she is barely getting some 3 to 4 years to work independently as a single woman, where
Mm.
she is yet to kind of, understand and address what is it that she actually wants to do. Because let's be very realistic, not everybody gets complete clarity at the age of 20 or 21. There are
Absolutely.
some people who are very clear and very focused, at the age of 15 or 16, they know what career they want, and they start picking up the subjects and their line in that direction. But not everyone is capable of that. Like for
Yeah.
me, I got a sense of direction in my late 40s. So, anyone can get clarity at whatever age that they want, but there shouldn't be any pressure of rushing into
Yeah.
marriage. Why? Because it's
Mm.
very essential for a woman to establish herself financially in a very secure way, so that none of them, either of the partner manage to live in a dominating way,
Yeah.
that you are here because I am paying for your expenses, or
Absolutely.
because I am paying for the household. That shouldn't be the equation between these two people. The equation has to be, how can I support you, where do you come into the picture, where can you add value in my life. That is the equation that these two people need to have. It need not be measured by what are you earning, where are your gaps, where do I fill in that gap with money. That should not be the equation at all.
Yeah. So
So give
that
time to,
yeah.
yeah, sorry, just give time for these girls to finish their education, let them work, let them see the world, let them travel the world. And I think in today's world, I think the ideal age for a woman to settle down should be 30, because by then I think they're pretty much, seen the place. They have had a good experience when it comes to work. And I think they have a lot of clarity to then take a decision what they want to do.
Yeah. Taking forward what you said just now regarding the financial security aspect, and you said that there should not be a hurry to get married, and there should be the women should take time to establish themselves and also establish themselves financially. They should
True.
not get into that feeling or into a relationship wherein one person is in a dominating position because of finances. So, will it be a good idea for every woman or a girl after they finish their studies to go and work out their work and create a kind of a financial security or something for them before they get into a permanent relationship, so that uh, in case a situation arises wherein there's some things do not go the way they would have expected life to go, then they are not left high and dry on the road and fending for themselves. So, would it be right to say that yes, you must look to create some kind of a uh, security or a bank or something to fall back upon if there's a requirement to those who are at some stage in their life before they get into a relationship, permanent relationship.
I think before any of that, Colonel, I think we as parents and we should stop painting this rosy picture that we are the parents of daughters, and
Mm.
this is your husband and this is the guy who's going to come and fulfill all your dreams. No, I mean,
Yeah.
even that poor guy
Absolutely.
has a lot of pressure from his parents side. He also
Mm.
has a lot of his own set of dreams. So
Yeah.
I think we should really cut this crap and bullshit of you get married and your husband will fulfill your needs. No,
Mhm. No.
make your
Mm.
girl so strong that she should be able to fend for herself. Today, if she walks into a jewelry store, she should have that kind of money and take that strength to take a decision that, okay, I like this ring, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to ask my husband to wait. And I'm not going to ask for his approval whether I should buy it or not. I
Yeah.
have the money, I can go and buy it. But we should stop uh, teaching our girls that be dependent on your husband. Be dependent for support, be
Yeah.
dependent in terms of emotional, mental, physical way, But when it comes to finances, you both
Mhm.
have to be very equal and very independent in these two leagues, because that's where a lot of mess comes. So, first thing, I think it starts with us as parents of teaching our daughters to strengthen their finances in terms of investments, in terms of purchase, in terms of you need to take ownership for things that you want to buy.
Absolutely.
Don't be dependent on somebody else. And for men, I just feel that they just need to be taught to be more supportive and to be a little more caring and a little more open minded, because things are very different from what they were in the 80s and the 90s. Today, we live in a very different world. There are a lot of things that both men and women are doing in terms of work, in terms of hours that they are putting in terms
Yeah.
of effort that they're putting in. So I think it would be very, very wrong to justify that men are putting a lot of effort or a women. I think both of them are doing a lot of hard work out there to bring a good meal on the table, to bring a good house in their life, to bring the good, what should I say, comforts in their life. So I think both of them need to have equal values.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Divya.
that's really very valid or very important point that you brought out. And another thing which when you were talking about this was that I feel today, I was actually thinking a few days back that today is when you go out in the professional work, or there's no domain which is purely male dominated or a female dominated. Now, all domains,
Yes,
all services, all the professions, both men and women are doing equally well, and
yes,
they are like at the workplace also things have started changing, and they have accepted started accepting this part of life, and they are giving equal responsibilities as well as equal compensation in terms of monetary benefits and other things, and especially after COVID, we have also realized that. Uh, just running for money is not good enough. You have to do
yes,
other things also in life, and people have learned to get out of running that rat race, as we used to call in our time. That everybody is running that rat race, and the person who's winning the race is the king rat. And so it works both ways for equally for men and women. At that point you brought out very well. And at this point, I would like to invite Anushri. She has raised her hand for quite some time, and and she's a young girl. She's still studying, and she wanted to share something with us. So let's see, let's get her also on board, and let's see what she has to
sure,
say. Okay, I'll just accept her
absolutely.
request. And in the meanwhile, one more thing which came to my mind was when you were talking about this was that when we are as a parents, as you said, as parents, we must treat our children equally, both sons and daughters, and the, let them uh, uh, learn the importance of being independent, not dependent upon other people, and respect each other. So let's hear from Anushi. Welcome, Anushi. So you wanted to share something? Yeah,
Jai Hind,
go
sir.
ahead.
Jai Hind, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you all for bringing me here in the live. And second thing is actually being independent is nothing but coming out of the comfort zone.
Mhm.
That I believe. So coming out of comfort zone is being like if you want something, if you can do something, you have to do it without any hesitation. And second, and for most thing, I would like to thank Mr. Colonel Aditya sir. I would like to share one good news that yesterday I went for a HR conclave and I have taken part in management block and tackle. So where I have to speak for and against the topic and I won second place in that. So
Wow,
because
wonderful.
of Colonel, Colonel Aditya sir and many HR's support, I have opportunity to speak out of speak there, coming out of comfort zone because everyone were the expert in HR. They have got the opportunity to speak. So this is what I believing in yourself that you can do it or coming out of your comfort zone shows your independence. And I would like to share this thing that we have celebrated. It's not a one-day program. It should be 365 days. We have to celebrate Women's Day, Father's Day. Every
Absolutely.
day is an awesome day for us. We have to equally respect to men and women, not only for women. So we have to men because men without a man, woman would see the Shakti form. Like without Shakti, Shiva is a Shiva, and
I think
without Shiva, Shakti is meaningless. So in that form, if we respect both the things, we could able to enjoy life, every aspect of life.
okay. Thank you,
This is my
Anu.
thoughts.
Wonderful thoughts that you shared with us. And so Neeta, as Anushi said, that every day should be celebrated as Women's Day, and not one day in a year. And second thing, which she said that coming out of the comfort zone. The moment you come out of your comfort zone, you become independent. That is what she learned. So how can you fit this aspect also in overcoming that dilemma of trying to be superwoman, or trying to be you yourself?
I think it just starts with one simple question: what's stopping you? So if
Yeah.
your why is not strong, you will never get out of the comfort zone. That's for sure.
Mm.
I'll tell you a story that I saw on Shark Tank, where there was this lady who came on Shark Tank to ask for equity, and she was selling what Sharma ji ka atta.
Wow.
And it so happened that she lost her husband. I don't remember exactly whether it was due to an accident or an illness, what,
Hmm.
but she lost her husband. So the mother and the son had no other choice when it came to earning financial income. And
Hmm.
they were not prepared for this sudden tragedy that came into their life. Now they had no other choice but to come out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
And they came up with this business. The sharks invested, and now it's doing very well. They had shared their winning thing, like how they raised the certain capital and all, and they were sharing their story. And I feel there are two kind of things that happen to people when something hits you hard in a tragic way, and which also
Mm.
hurts you financially. That's either one of the reasons when you come out of the comfort zone, or you come out of the comfort zone when your self respect has been hit that hard to an extent that you feel a calling from within that I must do something about it.
Hmm.
And then there is is a third category which really feels nothing, which is really okay with whatever is happening around them, and it is really okay because we have all sorts of people around us, and not everybody needs a change. Only those people change who really are willing and wanting to do something about it. Let's be very realistic about it. Most of them
Absolutely.
are happy with their salary. Most of them are happy with their 9 to 5 jobs, no matter how much they must be hating it from within. But at the end of it, when they get a big fat paycheck, it gives them happiness, and which is
Yes.
perfectly fine. So I think coming out of your comfort zone depends from person to person on how and how badly you need it, or how
Absolutely.
tragically it has hit you.
So at times when we are talking about this point, instead of waiting for something to happen which forces you to come out of the comfort zone, if we have our why, which is if we our why is strong, we don't have to wait for something to happen to us to come out of that comfort zone. We'll automatically start doing things which will get us the results that we are looking for from whatever we are doing, and it applies across the board to everybody,
Yes,
either men or women or anyone for that matter. And
true.
that is again a very, very important point that you brought out, Neeta. And so thank you very much for joining me once again. And it was a great, I would say, interactive session and sharing your experiences with us and our audience. So before we close for the day, what would be your one go-to mantra for people out there who would have now started thinking about trying not to be that superwoman, but to accept themselves as they are, and also start doing things to have that feeling of self belief, self comfort, and self worth, so that they don't have to look for external validation, but the validation should start coming from inside. So, what would be your one go to mantra for these people?
Every day look at the mirror and speak 5 good things about yourself. Initially, when you will start, you will look at the mirror and laugh because it's going to look very funny, and you will not believe what word that you are talking for yourself. But consistently, when you will keep practicing these things every day, these 5 lines every day, you are going to see an amazing transformation in 6 months from now, in 1 year from now. But you
Mhm.
have to allow yourself that time, and you have to be true to yourself with this task. Like I wear this band, which says my intentions are bigger than my actions. So there are days, when I feel drained out, when I'm working on my program, when I'm creating the content. There are days when I get mentally exhausted, and then I just take a break. I just go for a walk, and then I just look at this band that I'm wearing, and I remind myself, okay, no, I'm here to do something big. I'm supposed to. I matter in this world. I'm here to make an impact. So these are the talks that I do to myself, and then I come back and I start doing my work with a new energy. So it's perfectly okay to feel low, down, out, acknowledge those feelings, take a walk, breathe in, breathe out, focus on your breath works, and then come back to it. Talk 5 good things about yourself in the mirror, because if you can't talk 5 good things about yourself, you really can't do anything better than that. Because if I can
Absolutely.
support you, Colonel, as a friend, in five by saying 5 good things about you, I should be capable of doing that to my own self.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So, thank you very much, Neeta, and for our audience also. Yes, just go out and talk 5 things good about yourself, and see the change
Absolutely.
happening in you. And thank you, Divya, for your support, and thank you everyone who has joined our live. And in case you want to delve into this topic more, you want to have some more one-on-one interactions or discussions, you can connect with Neeta or me. And also, as I always say, if you want us to talk about something specific that you are looking for from us, please do tell me or say message Neeta, connect with us, and we'll be very happy to take on those things. And go ahead and enjoy being a woman, and don't try to prove to the world that you are superwoman. As long as you feel from inside that yes, yeah, I am a superwoman and I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm content with this. That is good
Absolutely.
enough. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Neeta, once again, and hope to
Thank
see
you,
you again
Connor.
soon. Uh,
Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you. Bye
Just
bye.
love your skin, love being with yourself. That's all I would say. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Have a great weekend. Thank you.